Every person and their cultural heritage are a construction of their linguistic universe. How people live and relate with others is determined or crafted by their language. A sad reality is the gradual extinction of many indigenous languages. The colonization of the indigenous cognitive faculty is responsible for people abandoning their cultural heritage and history. What is a cognitive or linguistic universe? How does it shape people's way of life? What does it say about the human mind? How does a cognitive universe become extinct? What is the consequence of losing a people's linguistic or cognitive universe? What measures should indigenous people take to keep their languages from disappearing? Hello everyone, welcome to Indigenous Perspectives, Rethinking Our Thinking with Edward Sandman Mugi. Today's episode expands on an earlier episode titled Rethinking Indigenous Identity, Learning in Non-Colonial Terms, where we try to explain why indigenous languages and concepts must facilitate cultural learning. Titled Saving Indigenous Linguistic or Cognitive Universe, today's episode proposes ways to preserve indigenous languages from extinction as language regulates a people's lived reality. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Lera Boroditsky, a cognitive scientist, in a TED Talk presentation, How Languages Shape the Way We Think, held that there are about 7,000 languages invented by the human mind. These cognitive universes are unique and different in sound, vocabulary, and structure. It means that a language and a people's constructed universe are connected such that only what the language constructed can be named, and vice versa. In other words, language does not articulate what is not associated with the universe or worldview. According to Boroditsky, it implies that language shapes how we think. This means that our life is an expression of the construction of our cognitive universe. Language is a living thing that comes to birth, lives, and eventually dies. Boroditsky held that we lose language so often. Language guides reasoning. When we fail to speak our language, we open it to an early extinction, death. Research has shown that we are losing a language every 2 weeks. Linguistic diversity, therefore, according to Boroditsky, reflects how ingenious the human mind is. The tragedy of language extinction can be averted as people keep speaking, reconstructing, and renewing their cognitive universes by transmitting their language to their offspring. Thinking differently results from the diversity of the cognitive universes or worldviews. It is important to note that we are products of our universes, and learning another language broadens the mind and enlarges our worldview. According to Boroditsky, and I quote, "The beauty of linguistic diversity is that it reveals to us just how ingenious and flexible the human mind is," unquote. It creates and recreates, just as Charlemagne purports that languages craft reality when he asserts, and I quote, "To have a second language is to have a second soul," unquote. It implies that having a second language helps one experience a different worldview and appreciate the universe as an arena to broaden one's mind and learn what one's worldview has not given the person. As a preserver of culture and history, language not only crafts reality, but it is also a distinct marker of the peculiarity of a people. Losing a linguistic or cognitive universe is losing a cultural nation. To prevent the extinction of any cognitive universe, as is the case presently, indigenous people must preserve their cultural history by making their mother tongue the means of communication at home and school. A deliberate step would be to revitalize the value of their language by transmitting it to their offspring and stopping its extension, and by extension, their tradition or cultural universe. Thanks for joining Ancestral Heritage TV. Until next time, always remember that your identity is formed in your culture. Follow Ancestral Heritage TV at ancestral_heritage TV on YouTube, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, and at ancestral_heritage.tv on TikTok. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this video. Goodbye.